I welcome you all to Major H.S. Kalsi's Baalnoi Academy. I am Ritu Sahani, Faculty of English. Today we are going to cover ordering of words in a sentence. Let's get started. Let's begin with some tips and tricks. What is the strategy to do ordering of words? And in the first place, what exactly is ordering of words? Let us understand the format first. This is our today's topic, ordering of words in a sentence. What happens here is one statement is divided into four fragments, P, Q, R and S. And they are jumbled up. They are jumbled up. We need to reorder them in such a manner that they form one logical, coherent sentence. Now, sometimes other than PQRS, one or two words could be given here also, 2, 3. So, it means this is the fixed fragment and the sentence begins with it. So, they have given you the beginning part and then you have to attach this PQRS to this one only. Ultimately, it will form one sentence, right? So, we are doing ordering of words in a sentence. Jumbled words, another name for this section. Now, what are the tips? How do we order? First tip, do not read the question. Yes, you heard me right. That is the first tip. Do not read the question. Then what exactly are you going to read? You're going to read the options first. So read the options first. So why should we do this? Because it happens that sometimes students read the question and in their mind they start solving, reordering in their mind, and in your mind, let's say you have arrived at an answer QRPS. Now you look at the options and what has happened? This option is not there only in the question paper. So what have you done, my dear students? You have wasted time. Moreover, you have exhausted your mind. Ordering is a little time consuming process. Not this, but ordering of sentences definitely. It is exhausting also. So do not waste your time. You will run out of time in the question paper this way. So the point is align your mind. Think your mind only according to the answer option. Do not work out the statement in your mind manually or mentally. Work it out only according to the answer available answer options, alpha, bravo, Charlie, delta. Think your mind according to the answer options. One more thing I can add over here, why options? So let's say, let me explain this in a better way. Let's say you have your four options, alpha, bravo, Charlie, delta. Two options are beginning with P, one with R, one with S. So now you look at the options. What do you come to know? Come to know a couple of things. That you cannot begin with Q. There is no option which is beginning with Q. So QRPS to answer ho hi nahi sakta hai. So however smart you may think you are, which I do not doubt you are, but let's act a little smartly and wisely, I would say. Okay. There is one more hack I can give you over here. The hack is if an initial is repeated twice, let's say this P is written twice, then R and S. So there is high probability that the answer lies between A and B. Either the answer is A or B, but high probability. Do not take this as an absolute tip कि मैम ने तो बोला था वो यही आंसर होगा. It's not like that. Answer can be Charlie, the answer can be delta. So in that case, then do not hold me to account. Right? It's just a hack. It works. Many times it works. Okay. Now, how about what exactly is the approach? we are doing ordering. So now if I ask you a very primary question, what is the order of any given English sentence? Can you give me a formula? It is subject, verb. This is what you need to do. You need to find the subject, then the verb, and then the object. And subject is doer of the action, and the receiver of the action. Okay. You could get a helping verb also over here. Essentially, what you need to do is find an independent fragment. So out of PQRS, you need to see which one is independent, and you are going to begin with that. That one would be your first fragment. Okay. Now, what is the most important approach? I'll change the color for that just to highlight that that is the most important. That is the actual approach to do ordering. And that is for mandatory pairs. Now, what do I mean by the word mandatory? Mandatory means necessary, compulsory. So you need to watch out for any two fragments which will necessarily come one after the other, mandatorily. They are inseparable for reasons better known to you or me. Yeah? For example, so let's say we have selected this answer, PSRQ. We select this answer. Why we have selected? Because let's say in R it is written either, and in Q it is written or. So we all know that either or is a fixed conjunction pair. So similarly, if you watch my conjunction video, you will come across, I've taken up about 16 conjunction pairs over there. Fixed conjunction, either or, neither nor, not only but also, hardly when, barely when, scarcely when, no sooner than, whether or, rather than. There's so many fixed conjunctions. So keep watching out for them. Now, if for someone who does not like grammar or your grammar is not strong, take heart. Not a problem at all. I mean, you can work ordering without using your grammar knowledge also, just with your common sense and logical sense of reasoning. But I must say that if you use grammar, you have an edge. You have an advantage, and your chances are you do it quicker, and your answer also would be correct. So that's up to you now. Okay. Then, so this is like, now these are multiple approaches to form mandatory pairs. I gave you one approach, which is keep looking for fixed conjunctions. Similarly, you can also look for fixed prepositions. Again, if you watched my preposition video, you would know we've done fixed prepositions. कि इस word के साथ यही preposition आता है और कोई आ ही नहीं सकता क्योंकि ये fixed है. For example, let's say in P it is written cling, C-L-I-N-G, and in S it is written to. So we know after cling we always use to. Many people cling to their past. Cling is chipakna. Lizard cling to the wall. A little child could cling to his mother. Iron clings to magnet. So cling के बाद to ही आता है. ये एक fixed preposition. It's a fixed preposition, right? So the point here is form mandatory pairs. Please use your grammar knowledge to connect any two fragments. There could be one more approach for in mandatory pairs only. It is known as the article approach. Then there's one more noun pronoun approach. Now, what I mean by article approach is article A will always come before article the. We know this, like, for example, let's say we're writing a story. Once upon a time, there was, now my first line says, once upon a time, there was a king. What do I say in the second line? I don't say a king, then I say the king was a mighty young man. Yeah? So in the first reference, general reference, yeah? It's a first reference, then I go for a. Then this one is particular reference, the king. This king we talked about earlier. So article A will always come before article the. That's how you order. वो वाला fragment पहले आएगा जहाँ article A है. Okay. Then that's the article approach. How about noun pronoun approach? Noun comes before the pronoun. For example, somebody's name is given, Steve. Let's say Steve is given in R, and in the Q fragment, he is written. So R and Q will form a mandatory pair. The Q will never come before R. Pronoun noun se pehle nahi aata. First you talk about the person. Steve is a scientist and he is very hardworking and diligent and intelligent, he's a genius, whatever you want to say. But first you'll mention the name of the person, then you go. So there are 4 different things what you can keep in mind as now. Fixed conjunction approach, fixed preposition approach, article approach, noun pronoun approach. And then what exactly do? You form mandatory pairs. So with this, I think we are fairly equipped. We are good to go. We can start solving 10 questions we are going to do today. And let's see how many of these tips and tricks are actually actionable. Yeah, we need to see for ourselves that are we able to use this? Let's see. Fine. You want to take a picture? Now I can kind of get aside. All right. Okay. First question. It's written ordering of chunks. What are chunks? Pieces. So one statement, if you can see, is divided into 4 fragments. P, Q, R, and S. And these are the 4 options. We need to rearrange them in such a manner that it forms one logical sentence. All right, so let's get going. Like I said, do not read the question. So we'll not read it. We'll look at the options. Beginning with P, Q, and Q. Which means we cannot begin with R and S because there is no such option only. So we start working it out. We start working out the PQR. It's as it is. Which India has become with time, accounting for it did not connect. India has become with time and accounting for. Did you see? It does not make any sense. So we can rule out this option. Let me start using. We're going to rule this out. How about, let's read this. P, R, S, Q. So we read P, then R, then S, and then Q. Okay, let's do it. India has become accounting for. Again, this only did not connect. P or R ही connecting. India has become what? इसका जवाब तो मिला ही नहीं है. And then accounting for. Not connecting. Let's read QPSR. Which time क्या हुआ है? समय के साथ क्या हुआ है? India has become what? जवाब शायद मिल रहा है यहाँ. India has become the world's largest extractor of groundwater and accounting for 25% of the total available water. So there are 2 mandatory pairs over here. Did you notice? Yeah. P and S. Clearly a mandatory pair. And if you think about it, even SNR is a mandatory pair. Because India has become what? Become the world's largest extractor. Now, since this S talks about extractor of groundwater, then this connects, the R connects, accounting for 25% of the available water. So, in this regard, SNR is also a mandatory pair. So, which is why, what is our correct answer? Charlie. Here itself we have got the answer. Anyways, we'll still read delta QRPS. time, which time accounting for. I think ये QR ही connect नहीं हुआ है. With time accounting for 25% of the total available water, India has become the world. Okay, P and S is okay together, but then this Q and R is not connecting. The meaning, it is meaningless. So the answer to question 81 here, the first question is Charlie. Let's move on. Oh. Let's read this. It's beginning with R, P, Q, and Q. Okay. So it means we cannot begin with S. S से तो हम शुरू ही नहीं करेंगे. Yeah. Okay. So let's read this alpha. R, S, P, Q. Let's read alpha. R, S, P, Q. The extremes of climate change. This makes sense actually. Extremes of climate change. It's a use of that, na? Extremes of climate change. Okay. Extremes of climate change present existential perils all over the world. To me, this is making absolute sense. So we're going to put it on standby. This makes absolute sense to us right now. So if because R and S is a pair, और ये extreme से हो क्या रहा है, then there is a verb. Extremes of climate change, by the way, this entire thing is our subject. ये हमारा subject है. तो verb क्या होता है इससे? They present existential perils. Perils means dangers. They present some danger where? All over the world. Perils all over the world. So this is also connected. So that's how this really looks like the answer, but then we have to check, we have to confirm. So let's begin with the, let's do Bravo. PRSQ. Present existential peril. I think ये यहीं पे cancel off हो जाएगा. Do we begin sentences with a verb? No, we don't, unless it's a command. Come, go there, open this, close this, shut the door. Only then, only if it's a command, it begins with a verb. Otherwise, it doesn't begin with a verb. So, which is why this is wrong. Now, let's do this QPSR. So, all over the world, present existential crisis. QP, this itself doesn't make sense. All over the world, who is presenting existential crisis? There's no answer to it. Then QRPS, all over the world, the extremes of climate change present existential crisis. Now, this does make some sense. The meaning is not wrong, I must say. I must admit over here, to be honest. But now we have a debate in our mind. And whether the answer is delta or whether the answer is alpha. I give you about 30 seconds. You go through it on your own. Then I'll give you my explanation that why, in my opinion, alpha is the answer. You take your time. You see for yourself. How is alpha a better option than delta? See, my answer is there are some standard ways of beginning with a sentence. The conventional way is we always begin with a subject. And this really looks like a very standard subject, the extremes of climate change, rather than beginning with all over the world. Right? So what we did is we followed this strategy, subject plus verb plus object. So whenever in doubt between two options, just see which option is going by that format, subject, verb, object. That is a better option anytime. So this tip earlier may have sounded like a very cliched tip. कि क्या बकवास है हमको पता है subject verb object, but believe me, it's although simple, it's yet the most powerful and effective tool at your disposal. Okay, so fine. Moving on. Let's read question 83. Option is beginning with R. We are doing 83. R, P, S. Fine. All four, we can begin with all four. These options are not very useful. No problem. We'll have to work out all of them. Okay, let's do RSPQ. We're going to read R. The G20 countries and the G20 countries that India will be. Do you think R and S connect? No. The G20 countries that India. No connection at all of R and S. That's how alpha is not. Okay. PSQR. Let's read PNS. The company forecasts that. तो यही कनेक्ट हो गया क्या फोरकास्ट करता है ये फोरकास्ट करता है yeah so PNS does look like a wonderful pair over here. The company forecasts that India will be the fastest growing क्या fastest growing market. So S and Q also is a wonderful pair. PS is a pair, S and Q is a mandatory pair. Fastest growing market amongst who? Amongst the G20 countries. So this way, even Q and R is a wonderful pair. 3 mandatory pairs we happen to get. And did you see, we really did not use much grammar knowledge over here. So it's good news for people who don't like grammar. We can easily do this, just some a logical sense of reading. Forecast that. Kya forecast kiya? Fastest growing kya? Market. Among these many countries. So therefore, undoubtedly this is the answer. Let's see. And anyways, we'll still see. Isko bhi pad lete. SPQR. That India. ये तो यही cancel out हो जाएगा. Why? Do you begin sentences with that? Go back to that tip which I told you. Find an independent fragment. ये S एक independent fragment ही नहीं है. Right? So we just rule this out. Let's do QRPS. Where is Q? Where is Q? Okay. Aviation market amongst. This again is not an independent fragment. There doesn't seem a subject, verb, object. Nothing is there. It doesn't really make sense. Nevertheless, we still proceed. Aviation market amongst the G20 countries, the company forecast. There is absolutely no connection in QRP. This is also not there. So what is the correct answer? Bravo. So for the first 3 questions, if I may just erase this. Okay. For the first 3 questions, if you want me to rewrite the answers, I guess the answers as far as I remember were Charlie, Alpha, Bravo. First, second. These were the answers if you want to take notes. Charlie, Alpha, Bravo. If you want the answer, fine. Moving on. Let's do question 84. Let's read the options. R, then again, beginning with R, S, T, wow, all 4 are available. So we have no choice. We'll have to work out all of them. Fine, no problem. RSPQ. Let's do RSPQ. Where is R? Okay. Stone walls usually built and trapping pits. You think this is connecting? R and S is not connected. This is not the answer. Fine, then let's do SPQR. I thought I will clear it. There should not be so much mess. We're doing Bravo. Let's work this out. SPQR. Where is it? Trapping pits with inverted funnel shaped near villages. Funnel shaped क्या? It's incomplete. Funnel shaped के बाद कुछ तो होना चाहिए क्या? Funnel shaped, right? And funnel shaped near villages. This S and P is not connected. This is also not the answer. Let's read this. PRSQ. Near villages or herder camps. This itself seems strange to me. We generally don't begin sentences with near villages. Does it look like an independent fragment? Does it look like? Nevertheless, we'll still give the option a chance. Near villages or herder camps. Stone walls usually built. ये और ये भी तो connect नहीं हो रहा. R is not connecting with P. So I think we only left with delta. I don't know about it, but we are going to read. Okay. Shandongs. This looks like our subject actually, right? Shandongs are, this is a subject, there is a verb. They are what? They are traditional trapping pits. ये shandongs की definition है. ये होते हैं. They are traditional trapping pits. So Q and S is a wonderful mandatory pair. It really makes sense. उसकी definition है. They are trapping pits with inverted funnel shaped, and then we go to our funnel shaped stone wall. So we do get an answer. Funnel shaped wall. Usually built. Built where? Built near villages. Yeah. So if you think about it, R and P is also a wonderful pair. S and R is a pair. Funnel shaped stone wall. Built near villages. So by that accord, delta is inarguably the right answer. 84 delta. Let's move on. Let's do question 85. Okay. Our options are, begins with R, Q, and Q. Okay, we have only two choices. Either it's R or either it's Q, R independent fragment. It is not P or S. So let's start with R. Where is R? India has, and then we have S. India has brought back. Makes sense actually. India is the subject, then the verb. क्या किया India ने? India has brought back. Okay. Now brought back के बाद एक सवाल मन में आता है, brought back what? Do we get an answer? I guess we get. Brought back several antiquities. Brought back several antiquities. कहाँ से? From other nations all over the world. I guess we're lucky here. ये जो alpha में answer मिल रहा है, let's we will roll out the other option. We'll read. India has brought back nations over, no, India, only India has, I have to read. No? India has nations over the years. Does this make sense? India has nations over the years? No, it doesn't. How about QR? Nations over the years, India has. Horrible, terrible. Yeah, this is not how we begin sentences, and it really doesn't make sense, meaningless. Let's read Q and S. Nations over the years brought back, okay, not bad. Nations over the years brought back several antiquities from other, and then India has. Can you begin a sentence? Can you end a sentence? ये कैसे end हो रहा है delta? It's ending with has. इसका कोई sense बना? QSP was still okay. Yeah, it was not that bad. Nations over the years brought back several antiquities from other what? Some things they should write, but some from other India has. So this P and R is horrible. Horrible, terrible. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense. We don't end sentences with a verb again. So this is how. Delta is also not the right answer. The correct answer is alpha. Fine. How about question 86? Fine. Let's read options. We are doing question 86. Alpha begins with P, this with Q, S, and Q. Okay, fine. So we are very clear that our answer will never begin with R because that is not the option. Option में ही नहीं. Fine. So we start working it out. We read P. The Aravalli hill ranges. Then we read R. The Aravalli hill ranges are spread out over the natural landscapes. Okay. Makes sense. Not bad at all. The Aravalli hill ranges are spread out over the natural landscape. And then I have to read S. Over the natural landscape, the biodiversity part. The R and S is It did not connect only. There is no verb, it's not connected. Dissociated. Okay, so we're going to rule out alpha because R and S is dissociated. Let's read QRST. Of the Yamuna river. I guess इसकी तो starting ही खराब है. Can we begin sentences with of? We cannot. Still, we won't rule it out so easily. We'll read it. Of the Yamuna river and R. Any meaning over here? Nonsense. Meaningless. Right? Q and R also is nonsense. Okay. About SRQP. The biodiversity park. पढ़ते ही समझ में आ जाता है वैसे. It's a subject. ये subject दिख रहा है. The biodiversity park. This is our subject. Then what? Then there is the verb. क्या हुआ in past? They are spread out over the natural landscape. So SNR makes a wonderful pair. They are spread out over the landscapes. ये landscapes कहाँ हैं? Natural landscapes of the Yamuna river. And there is a connect. Landscapes यहाँ पे भी है, यहाँ river में भी है और ये Aravali Hill है. So it really is making complete sense. Even Q and P. Charlie is making complete sense. Really looked like initially. Anyway, we'll still read this. Since we ruled out Bravo, I guess we can rule out Delta also because it's beginning with Q and really beginning with R doesn't make sense. We'll read it. QSPR. Of the Yamuna river and the biodiversity parks, the Aravali Hill ranges, nothing is connecting actually. They are all three dissociated fragments. They're not gelling up. They are not cohesive. They should stick together. They should make some meaning together, which they aren't. So the correct answer of 86 is Charlie. Moving on. Question 87. Let's read the option. Beginning with, we are doing 87. Alpha beginning with P, then Q, S. Okay, all four options are there. PQR, everything is fine. Let's do alpha. The family found out. And then we have to read R. The family found out that. Really makes sense. We say, क्या पता किया? ये पता. Found out that some of, and we have to read Q after R. Some of their mother's friends, this also is making sense. Some of their mother's friends were going to, where they were going? They were going to Poland in a car. Really making sense. So Q and S is a wonderful pair. Going to Poland is really connecting. And then even P and R is a wonderful pair, mandatory pair. So do you see, I'm actually trying to apply those hacks which we did. Form mandatory pairs, look for an independent fragment, work out only according to the option, subject, verb, object. We're using all of the tests. Okay, fine. So the alpha really looks like an answer. Nevertheless, we will read Bravo. QSPR. Their mother friends were going to Poland in a car. Okay, not bad. However, I would still say this is beginning with a pronoun and we really don't know whose mother's friend. So, earlier our answer was good because we had the noun first, family, and then unki mother's friend. Yeah, the noun and then the pronoun. But then this is directly beginning with a pronoun. Still okay, we will give it a chance. Their mother's friends were going to Poland in a car and then the family found out. S and P, if you see, S and P do not connect. Yeah? P is not connecting with S. Rule out. Then SPRQ, let's read. Poland in a car. ये तो यही पे रूल आउट हो गया. How can a place be in a car? Yeah, it's not an independent fragment. Then R, that. It's beginning with that. So one of the tips actually is elimination strategy. Whichever options don't really begin with an independent fragment. In this case, Charlie, Poland in a car, beginning with that. So Charlie, Delta are ruled out. So you can add to one of the tips I gave you earlier. Go by elimination strategy. Rule out options which are illogical, nonsense. We have to do question 88. Let's read the options. Begins with P, begins with S, Q, R. Okay, all four are available. Let's read alpha. Earth may seem immense. Then we have to read Q. Immense from the perspective of humans. Not bad. PQ seems okay. Earth may seem immense from the perspective of humans and almost limitless, living on its surface. This somehow did not connect. Anyways, if you ask me honestly, you know how it is to be done in English. अगर हम एक adjective दे रहे हैं किसी चीज को, अगर दो दे रहे हैं, two adjectives, so those two adjectives really have to come together. If you think Earth के लिए दो adjectives दिए, so in my opinion, P and R have to come together, which is not the case over here. So let's see, is there any option जहाँ P और R एक साथ आ रहे? Yes, we have. We have Bravo, we have Charlie. So actually our answer should be Bravo or Charlie because it is immense and limitless. Two adjectives for the same noun. Okay, let's go read Bravo. SPQR. Living on Earth may seem immense and limitless from the perspective of humans. Okay, not bad at all. Let's see this. Earth may seem immense. Now, if you compare that, should I begin with S or should I begin with Q? This one. This obviously makes more sense. If you begin this way, living on its surface, ये एक pronoun है, yeah. So I think it is always nice to watch out for a noun before the pronoun. This example, option Bravo is not supporting living on its surface. किसकी surface, right? So therefore, Charlie option is a better option. It begins with the noun, and then its surface means Earth's surface. That makes sense actually, right? So our correct answer is Charlie actually. Yes. This is one. Just two questions remaining. We're doing question 89. Read the options. Alpha begins with P, Q, R, S. Okay, fine. All four are available. Let's read alpha. In terms of volume, when we read Q, PQ. Okay, it's PQRS as it is in sequence. Fine then. In terms of trading volumes, has grown substantially. Doesn't make sense. What has grown substantially? यहाँ तो कोई जवाब ही नहीं मिल रहा. Yeah. So P and Q is not connected. Let's read Bravo. Have grown substantially. ये तो यहीं पे ही rule out हो जाएगा. Can we begin sentences with a verb? No, we cannot, unless it is a question or unless it is an order. Yeah? It should be a question also. Have you arrived? Have you come here? And you know, so it is not a question over here. Okay, so we rule out Bravo. Let's see Charlie. Market capitalization and turnover, the Indian financial market. Do you think this connected? Dissociated actually. R and S is not connecting. We left only with delta. Nevertheless, we will not mark it right till we go about it. The Indian financial market. पढ़ते ही वैसे समझ में आ जाता है. This looks like a subject. This is an independent fragment. Then after that, we should have a verb, subject, verb, object. The Indian financial markets have grown substantially, verb आया. And then what happened? Have grown substantially. किस sense में grow किया है? किस terms में? Have grown in terms of. So this way, even Q and P is a mandatory pair. Grown in terms of. This way, S and Q also is a mandatory pair. SQ, wonderful pair. QP, wonderful pair. In terms of trading volumes, and then lastly, market capitalization and terms. 3 terms are there. Volume, capitalization. ये तीनों terms में grow किया है. So the correct answer therefore is delta. Anyways, we've ruled out the others. Last question. Oh, the options are not there over here. Options are over here. Okay, no problem. It's this way. Not a problem. We'll read it. We'll read the options. P, Q, R, and S. Okay, all 4 options are again there. So let's read alpha option, PRQS. Emerge at last into a country of unearthly beauty. I think alpha we can rule out because it is beginning with P and P is beginning with a verb. We do not begin sentences with verbs. I have been saying that unless it is a command or a question. Let's read Bravo, QSPR. Those who passed through. Okay, passed through what? Passed through that valley of darkness. Q and S really makes sense together. Passed through that valley of darkness. What happened to those people then? They emerge at last. So this entire thing, Q and S, looks like our subject. This is the clause actually, the adjectival clause. Those who pass through that valley of darkness, then what happened to them? They emerge at last into a, what do they, into a what? Into a country of unearthly beauty. So that way even P and R make complete sense. Yes. So we have 2 mandatory pairs over here, Q and S and P and R, and therefore, in my opinion, the answer looks like Bravo. Anyway, we will still read this Charlie, RPH. Country of unearthly beauty, emerge at last. With country, we don't say emerge, we say emerges. Singular subject, V1 STS. So, like it or not, कहीं ना कहीं ग्रामर जिसका स्ट्रॉन्ग होगा उसको एक एडवांटेज जरूर होता है. एनीवेज ये आप में भी ठीक नहीं है. यू से ए कंट्री और द कंट्री, यू जस्ट डोंट बिगिन विद कंट्री. ये भी ग्रामेटिकली रॉन्ग है ऑप्शन. How about the delta option, SQRP? That valley of darkness. Again, little big. That is somehow strange. Anyways, that valley of darkness, those who pass through. Doesn't make sense. Those who pass through and then country of. Q and R is illogical and nonsensical. So the correct answer is Bravo. So with this, from my side, I am done with ordering of words in a sentence. Very well. 10 questions achieved. Thank you very much. Jai.